A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel, the Twin Flame Union and Twin Flame Universe. This particular session will be relayed on both the channels. So I intend that this particular session will help as many people as it can. Because in the twin flame journey, it's very difficult to actually reach the 5D union, which is the most important requirement for your union situation. Like if you are looking for 3D union, if you are looking for some kind of success, at least maybe communication, or maybe just feeling good about your life, or just not being in the clutches of the pain of twin flame journey, or maybe some kind of healing between divine masculine and feminine, some kind of transmutation of energy from fear-based energy to love-based energy. So all of these things you need if you want to achieve these type of goals. Then you need to heal this abuse that you have gone through, the abuse that happens due to narcissism. Now we need to understand narcissism also, because once you heal this situation, a lot of you actually in the twin flame journey read a lot about it and you watch a lot of videos about it, which means that you haven't really forgiven it, or you haven't really let go of it. And there's nothing wrong in researching. There's nothing wrong in trying to find out what is wrong with you or your life. What is the thing? What is the aspect that needs to be healed? So that's okay. That's absolutely fine. But how to get out of it? Nobody is talking about how to get out of it. There are some coaches who will completely deny that there is something called narcissism they faced, or etc., etc. But why were they so angry with each other when they were in separation? Maybe today they are in union, today they have forgiven each other, today they are happy with each other, they have accepted each other. But there was a time when they had not. And that phase comes in everyone's journey. Everyone goes through that journey when they feel bad about what their partners have made them go through, or the love interest have made them go through. Now everyone also does not have same type of union. Somebody has a union where they become best friends with their twin flame. Somebody has a union where they get married to the twin flame. Somebody has a union where they get divorced also, they get separated also, but then they come back for a mission. Somebody has a union where they basically reconcile and they get into some kind of business partnership. Overall, all divine masculines and feminines are here to be in the mission work, okay, to do the mission work, whatever they are here to do on planet Earth. So whatever is, whichever type of union they have, it is basically designed in such a way that not only they get freedom from the cycle of life and death, which means the cycle or the trap that we all are stuck into, the pain and joy, all the contradictions, all the opposites that you see, the duality. So in order to get out of duality, you are in the twin flame journey. Some people get out of duality really fast and some people don't. Some people sometimes they get married to the twin flame also. They are in some kind of a romantic setup also. But then they keep going through the runner-chaser dynamic for a very long time. Some of them even live in the same house under the same roof, but they don't see each other eye to eye. They don't talk to each other properly. They don't have a meal together. And despite not being legally separated, they are dating people elsewhere, or, one of them is constantly cheating and the other is constantly forgiving and things like that. And then some people tell me that, I have forgiven this person, but this person keeps repeating the same thing all the time. What type of person is this? That's because a lot of us don't understand forgiveness really well. We don't practice real forgiveness. Real forgiveness is like you forgive that person and then it will never happen. Whatever that problem was, it will never repeat when you do real forgiveness. If it is repeating again and again, then the forgiveness is not real yet. So who forgives and for what and why, all of those things also matter a lot. Also, when you forgive someone, another important aspect is that you don't chase them anymore. You are not scared of going away from them. Like in narcissism also, when you forgive the narcissist, You actually develop very strong suit, and you will not take their tantrums. So that is also a phase that you go through, where you are very happy and relaxed. You no longer feel any anger towards them, but you don't want to hang out with them anymore. You just realize that doing any type of expectations, keeping any type of expectations is futile, because at this point in time, this person's mind is not in the right place or the right situation. They don't understand. So it's very important for me also to walk away from them and give them that space and time so that they can think clearly. Now, a lot of divine masculines, they get energy from the divine feminine. Okay. Now, I know some of you doubt that, because you feel that some of the things that they are doing, very wrong things they are doing to you. How is it possible that you are the one giving them energy? They need energy in general also, because when they are going through horrible situations or when they are going through pain in their journey, what is it that makes them get up again and do it all over again? What is it that gives them the strength and courage to keep going? It's your energy. You are the one who gives energy to divine masculine. Shiv gets energy from Shakti, and that is the reason why the name Shakti is given to her. Shakti means energy. And a lot of divine feminines don't understand that, so they keep squirming in anger, pain, or if not anger and pain, then they keep chasing, or they are so focused on that person, on the DM, that they never really heal their wounds. They are trying to heal him most of the times. And that's why you will notice that when I also share any video which is related to or titled with divine masculine on it, so many people are ready to jump on that video and watch it the first. But if I talk about divine feminine goes through this, or divine feminine learns this, or divine feminine, there are lesser views or there are lesser interested people in it. Why? Which is actually should be the other way around, because more women, if more divine feminines watch or listen to the channelings or all these content that is shared specifically for them, they will heal much faster. But the curiosity for the DM is so high that they just don't even reach to that message or reach to that point. But those who do, they benefit. So you should be concerned about both equally. As much as you care about the divine masculine, you must also be concerned about your own journey. Why we give you messages about the divine masculine? So that you are positive, you are uplifted in this journey. But that does not mean you should start chasing them. That is not the idea. Right? In some cases, the divine masculines are also here. They are trying to build courage in themselves. They are trying to fix their life in order to get back to her. Now, a lot of you also write to me and you say, if he loves me so much, why hasn't he contacted me? That's because the amount of guilt they go through or the time they have wasted in all these ego fights or running away, it's not easy for them to face that. It's not easy for anyone to do that, So they prefer to keep ignoring, or they prefer to try to do something big. Most of the times, divine masculines are also stuck in this trap of twin flame, pain and separation, because they feel that some kind of materialistic achievement, some kind of thing they will do that will bring them in a position to contact the divine feminine again and make an offer to her. So they feel very scared to contact her and connect with her, or they feel like they are not yet ready to do that. In some cases, they're constantly thinking that does she have someone else in her life? I'm sure she has someone else in her life, and she will refuse me point blank, or she will humiliate me. They are scared of the confrontation. They don't want to confront. So they take time to dissolve those negative energies. They take time to dissolve all the trauma or the mean things they have done unknowingly, because when they leave the feminine, they don't know that she is the one. At that point in time, they are confused about it. They don't yet know the difference between what is fake and what is real love. They need to learn it, and they learn it during separation. So instead of getting irritated with it and not being patient with it, and constantly thinking, why is he not calling me, why is he not contacting me, you should actually think like, okay, he will contact me, he will call me, and I must do what I have to do right now. I have to live my life. You have to live your life on your own. You have to learn to be completely independent. Even when you are sick and there is no one to look after you, not even your own family, Even when you're feeling, left out and lonely, you feel no one loves you, no one loves me. Why is this happening to me, God? That is the time when you have to develop the bond and the connection with God. And with practical experience, with personal experience, you will get out of it and you will realize that even if no human is next to you, but God has given you enough unconditional love. You will see those changes, you will see those signs, you will suddenly feel a huge amount of strength in your body when you are sick or unwell. These are the times, and this is the reason why I keep saying that divine feminines, they go through body pain, they go through immense body pain. First, they go through immense emotional pain, which the masculine gives to them. Then when they learn to heal that emotional pain, then they start going through bodily aches and pains, and it's very hard for them because this is coming from chronicle thought patterns of not being worthy of love. Now, even if the divine masculine thinks that he's worthy of love and he deserves to be with someone who really takes care of him, who really understands him, in the opposite side, which is of the feminine side, she is constantly thinking she's unworthy. Even if she wants the DM's love, or even if she wants his attention, even if she wants that things should go back how they were in the past, how he used to call her, message her, tell her how much he loves her, or how they were in a relationship, or even if some of you were not in a relationship, but you know for sure that it is not a imagination, or some kind of fragment of your mind where your mind is showing you delusions. A lot of you do know that yes, there was some kind of exchange between you and him, because of which you believe that he loves you. And then when he left you, you felt bad because he must have said something nice to you, or must have done something out of the blue, or even in the love bombing phase, as they say that most narcissistic people like to love bomb. Now we need to understand narcissism so well that we need to heal it and clear it. Why? Because we cannot keep carrying it in our system. And then we need to behave in such a way that the person who we consider the narcissist, or consider the one who has broken your heart or not been good to you, that person also receives the right type of treatment from you, which is not like how you would do to others. So when I said in the last video that you need to revive your mother energy, that's because a mother, a true mother, she's a really good disciplinarian, and she is not biased towards any child. Like your narcissistic parents, father or mother, whosoever it was, they were mostly biased. Their own identity or their own ego or their own public image or social image in the world, that image was kept over and above the child's development and growth. And which is why the child is neglected or the child is over pampered. Because the child who's over pampered, the child who they enable, that particular child, in most cases is the divine masculine who's the enabled child, and the feminine is the neglected child. Both the children never get true love, because one person is easier to control, so they try to be around this person and they smother them with love, and basically they just use them as puppets when they want to get things done, and they know that one of the child, or whosoever that child is, whether it's on the other side which is divine masculine or this side which is divine feminine, it is easier for that particular child to turn more materialistic. Now, I will tell you some of the points where you can understand and you can recognize traits of narcissism really well. First and foremost is the sense of self-importance is so high in a narcissistic person. Their image is so important for them. Even if you're sitting alone with them, even if you are applying the application, the principle applying the application, applying the principle which says that a true friend always criticizes in private and a fake friend will criticize you in public. They will mock you, they will laugh at you, and your image will be hurt and blah blah blah. But a real friend would criticize you in private when you're all alone. So even if you and divine masculine have fought all by yourself, like it's not like you involve your family members. Imagine what would happen if you involve others also. Now this is what the karmic does in most cases. The karmic will involve the whole world. They will make fun of him in front of everyone. They will put them down. They will, talk about really private issues in public or with other friends. So these are the things which the divine masculine feels very bad about. And he feels that, maybe they had some issue in the bedroom, but she will go and she will discuss it with everyone. And he will be like, oh my God. And then he will think about the feminine who was criticizing him in private when they were both alone. You must be thinking, how do I know this? These things are very common. That's why we know about it, and we find out these common things because we work with so many people. When we work with so many people, we have a list of things that almost everyone goes through. So when the feminine says something to him, maybe it's a joke, or maybe she's just pulling his leg, or maybe whatever. Now again, gender can be anyone. Masculines can be in female body, and feminines can be in male body. So whichever role reversal you can do. So when they make those jokes, there is a trigger. A trigger is created. Even if it's not a joke, even if she seriously tells him that, look, I don't like this, you gotta fix it. They take it too personally because the ego space is very high. Personal identity space is very high. So in their eyes, you should always appreciate them, you should always praise them, you should always say nice things to them. Now, in your opinion, in a divine feminine's opinion, maybe something which is said in a funny way, maybe something which is said in a very casual way, or something which is very normal, very random, very regular, they can get very much triggered by it. So you would really not know what is it that hurt them and what is it that upset them. Until and unless they will say it to you, they will fight with you, they will shout and scream at you, they will put the blame at you, and they will walk away. Okay? Now, why do you attract it then in your life? When you're not even wrong, you're still getting punished, you're still getting misunderstood. So most of the feminines always say that we are always misunderstood. We are always punished for being good. We are always punished for doing nothing. Why is this happening? That's because the narcissistic abuse is the base of all of this. Somebody in their childhood made them feel wrong about normal things also because it hurt their ego. Maybe the personality of the divine feminine was like so free, relaxed, happy. And again, I'm not saying all of these things so that some of you start feeling superior. It's just how world is, how people are. Some people are always raised in such a way. Like the narcissistic parents are also raised in such a way that they feel that their public image or their social image is of utmost importance. So all the time they're trying to build it. And if the child in any way, form or sense acts against that image, the child is doing certain things and they feel that, okay, this child is going to be a troublemaker because this child is always doing something which will spoil my public image. It's not the personal image. Even in narcissism, there is something called split personality. And narcissism is still okay. It's not so dangerous. But if a psychopath or if a psycho is a narcissist, then God save people from that person. Because then their self-importance, their image of public image or social image is, they don't even know what they're doing. They have no idea what they're doing, but they just want to be important. Very, 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 very important, and they're never wrong. Okay? So, it's not like divine feminines don't have narcissism. They have also narcissistic traits, but that's another type of narcissistic disorder. I will come to that also. Then another thing is that they are very preoccupied with fantasies of success, power. And this is, I'm not talking about regular success or power. They need a lot of success, a lot of power, beauty, brilliance in everything, perfection, or some kind of a person or a partner which looks like the most idealistic person, like the best partner. Like if you, like trophy wives or trophy husbands, if you go with them somewhere, everyone is going to look at you and be like, wow, what a partner, what a person. And divine masculines make that mistake when they choose a karmic. And they feel that this karmic is going to be so good. It would be like cherry on top of the cake, where obviously they think they are the cake. So she or he is the cherry. But later on, when they have to live with it, they have to deal with such a person, then they realize that I made a very big mistake because this person doesn't understand me. Like a lot of women who put on all these Botox and they put this lip fillers and they want to look like a certain woman, certain body type, they want to have big breasts, they want to have huge ass, like what you see on Instagram, the type of looks some of the people carry. And the famous families, the Kardashians, I keep giving their examples, but they are not the only ones like that. Obviously, a lot of them are like that. They have that typical look. They carry that look. Why? Because they think that this is the most ideal look. But you step out of their fantasy world and you will see that that's not the ideal look. There are women of all shapes, sizes, age groups who are very beautiful, very talented, and they don't have Botox lips, or they don't have lip fillers or cheek fillers, or they've not, sliced their ribs out or whatever body parts out, or they still look beautiful. They still look amazing, charming, attractive. But that type of beauty standard can only be achieved when you love yourself exactly the way you are. You don't care about the imperfections that you have. You don't care about graying hair. You don't care about a little bit of paunch, a little bit of bulging tummy, or you don't care about, you obviously don't have to live a bad health or, like a unhealthy lifestyle where you have bodily issues. Obviously, that's not what I mean. But little bit of extra flab here and there doesn't matter. Should not matter ideally, Or if you don't do your eyebrows on time, or you have a little bit of upper lips growing. Now, I don't want you to have a mustache. There's always a thin line, in accepting yourself and overdoing something. But what I mean to say is that there are all types of people who are hygienic and who are healthy and who are beautiful. And they don't follow the typical standards that are followed in these elite societies. In some cases, it's not just the beauty that we see, the beauty standards that we see, but then another thing is a difference between fake person and real person. Like the divine masculine could be very drawn to a girl who is doing some kind of social service, she's doing some kind of charity work, or she's involved in a religious group, or she's doing something, for someone. But only when he gets to spend time with that woman or that person, after he has run away from the feminine, he realizes that this person is doing charity or social work or all these type of things only for image building, only to look good in front of other people. Otherwise, she could be a real vamp, or she could be a really evil human being, maybe making money out of somebody's pain. She really doesn't care about that cause. In reality, she only cares about how she appears in front of others and how much money she's making from it, and maybe collecting good karma or something like that. But you don't collect good karma like that, right? If you're so consciously collecting good karma, then you're actually making bad karma. And he needs to understand, or he needs to know these things, he or she, whosoever it is, because in this twin flame journey, it's very important to learn one of the biggest lesson is difference between fake and real. And plus, he is also going to be a healer sooner or later, And when you say healer, it doesn't always mean someone is sitting with a crystal ball. You could be someone who's working for the environment. You could be someone who's building the community. You could be someone, but you do it very silently. You don't market yourself. You don't promote yourself. You don't pay for your publicity. So these are the things you don't do. So he is going to figure it all out one by one, because you both are a team. You are supposed to learn from each other or help each other, support each other. Now, feminine also has to learn it, because even she doesn't learn it, but she doesn't know it. Only when she goes through full-blown separation phase, even she will find out what is real love, what is family love. What is real family, she will understand. Is my biological family my real family? Because she definitely has huge attachment with the family, especially with the mother figure, especially because she has to heal the father template. And a lot of divine feminines misunderstand the father template. And this is the reason why when I do chakra therapies, I always work on healing the masculine template. As a feminine, you are supposed to heal all the masculines in your life, whosoever it is, father, brother. And this doesn't mean that you'll all have great relationship, great bond after that. In some cases, you might move out from them. You might move to another independent house or apartment. You might even stop talking to them. You might even cut cords with them, because in your journey, that could be the best thing to do. And after you forgive them, you also feel that, okay, I have forgiven them, and that means I can be my authentic self. There are cases where there is sexual abuse also in the masculine template. Imagine if a child has gone through sexual abuse within her own family, maybe a father or a father's best friend or some kind of uncle who's like a father figure, or maybe the brother, or maybe someone, I don't know, maybe teacher, whosoever it is, he has sexually abused her. So she will attract, before meeting the masculine, the DM, the actual twin flame, she will attract a lot of relationships where she would just be an object, a sexual gratification object. That's it. And all the love that they show, all the smothering and all the love bombing, they show only when they want to use her or have fun with her. So even she needs to learn what is toxic love, what is real love. On one hand, she learns all these things and she heals. So by the time she meets the masculine, she has actually healed a lot. She has healed a lot, that's why she attracts him. But still she doesn't know how to love. She's still not clear about it because she has not been taught that. Since childhood, she doesn't know. She's only been pleasing people. She's only been acting like a doormat in front of other people. Even if people are treating her badly, but she will always put on a smile. Maybe say her siblings, they don't really care about her. They are never there for her. They don't make phone calls or they don't ask, or physically also they don't do anything. But when their birthdays come or when their, some other situation comes, their marriage comes or birthday comes or college graduation comes, or some kind of event is there, where they need support and they need a boost, she will be there for them, always. She or he, it doesn't matter which gender. So I have to keep repeating it so that you don't get, lost in the words that I'm using. So why? Because the pleasing energy is always there in her. She wants to please people so that they give her some love. Basically, they throw the breadcrumbs at her. Breadcrumbs of attention. Oh, good job. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. You are my family member, or you are my this. So she learns from within her family group and she finds out that there is another type of family. Another type of family is there. Even in biological circle also, it could be very much possible that she could be having soulmates with whom she had big misunderstandings. And why big misunderstandings were there? Because obviously she did not know what true love is. But in the twin flame journey, just the way she removes those toxic people, she will also heal the people that need healing and she will bring them inside her close circle. Those people with whom she had misunderstandings, if somebody has passed over, if somebody has already died, they're no longer there, then also the energy is still there, right? Death does not mean that the energy will go away. So she will heal them also. She will forgive them. She will love them. She will remember all the good memories, all the good times she spent with those people. She'll bring them close to them. And those who need to be removed from the personal circle, she will remove them. Maybe she will create a physical distance with them, or she will put some kind of boundary. Like, you cannot step into this area. This is my area. Or she will not tolerate their bad behavior anymore. Like earlier, she would always be ready, like to just do things for them. But now she will be like, no, I'm not taking this nonsense. Normally, when a divine feminine is stuck in energies like this, then she will also put up a face in front of other people. She will always tell other people everything is okay, or I get all the love and I get all the affection and I get this and I get that. And she would basically lie a lot to cover up their image, their issues. Obviously they have issues and she will keep covering it up because since childhood she has been taught and she has been trained to cover up issues for them, right? So now she will stop doing that, and this doesn't mean that she has to be a vicious person who's out there to get revenge and she has to say, oh, they are mean to me, and she has to badmouth other people. No. It's just that she will speak the truth that I am independent and I do this my way and this is how things happen for me. Whether it is emotional independence, it's no longer creating a fake charade that my family or my husband or whosoever it is, my boss or this or that, oh, they really do these things for me, they're so wonderful and blah, blah, blah. Another thing that you heal from narcissistic abuse, very important, is codependency. Most of the times, the feminines are very codependent, emotionally, mentally, physically, financially also. Some of them earn good money, but they are still codependent because they are earning money in order to gain their love. Like she has to contribute to them in certain ways materialistically. Now I'll tell you why this materialism is so important in this twin flame journey. Now on one hand, I always say that please make your own money. Please be financially independent. Please be able to stand on your feet. Don't take support from anyone. But at the same time, I tell you, don't be a materialistic person, right? Not just me, any other good or bad or whatever, authentic twin flame coach will teach you the same thing. Not to be a person who is... who needs other people to pay their rent or to pay their bills or to pay their whatever. So friends, this is where I'm going to put a pause again and I will recontinue this particular session. This is a very interesting session because here you understand how important it is for you to be in your goddess energies so that you are independent. You heal the feminine, you heal the masculine, you heal both of them by healing all of these wounds and all of these codependency issues. One love and peace out.